So let's talk about how big we're gonna make this thing, because whether you like to admit it or not, size matters. So if you make your block 7 inches from the long point to the long point, the inside of your box will be 14 inches. Every 1/8 of an inch you grow larger or smaller, it affects the inside of the box by 1/2 of an inch. So mine will be 7 1/8 from long point to long point, and that will give me 14.5 inches on the inside of the box. My kids are gonna be the main ones to use these probably, so we'll make it a little bit easier for them. You're gonna need 8 blocks, a piece of plywood, a carpet square or turf, and 1 piece of 4-inch PVC per build, or per box. So I mentioned long to the long point. The angle that we're gonna be using for this is 22.5 degrees. So we know that because an octagon has twice as many sides as a square, and to make a square, you need 45-degree angles. So basically just chop that in half, and that's what we got. All right, so if you don't have a nail gun to fasten these, this is just a 16 gauge pass-up. Really awesome gun, by the way. I'll put a link in the description if you want to pick one up. This thing comes in handy for everything. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by Passo, but hit me up, dude. I'd love to. So, like I said, you don't have to have this, but if you do, it just makes it that much easier. I'm just gonna glue both sides, shoot a few nails in. You can use screws, totally fine. I would use a trim head so it's not poking out, because the angle is gonna make the head of the screw protrude from the wood unless you pre-drill, which you should definitely pre-drill. I meant more of bore a hole out for the head of the screw. Whatever. Gotta turn the gun on. On the back side. Alright, so I severely overestimated my ability to do that without a clamp. It's much easier if you have a clamp, but I'm not used to building here, okay? This is new spot for me right now. So I don't know where much of the stuff is. Whatever. Either way, this will help me get it nice and even. Seriously though, if you're ever shooting that close to yourself, you have to be careful about where you're pointing that thing, because they may be small, but they still hurt. I actually don't think I've ever got myself with either, thankfully. So sometimes you'll hear me say not to do something, and then I'll turn around and do exactly what I said not to do, but that's because I don't want to be liable for you guys making mistakes and shooting yourself, because sometimes I do stuff that I definitely shouldn't do because I'm more comfortable with the tools than I should be, and I get a little complacent, but you'll have that on them big jobs, right? All right, well, there's your frame. So hardest part's done, right? So now really, with your piece of plywood, just line it up. I overhang just a little bit, so there's no need to sand or anything. And you get your handy dandy pencil, which I did not have on me. All right, so now you just the mango. So now cut that out. So while you're waiting on your magic little helper to get that piece cut, you can go ahead and start working on your carpet. There's no magic helper. You're gonna just line this up with the inside of this 2x4 here. You want it to be just a hair smaller than the box, so it sits right on top of that plywood. So just take your good old handy dandy knife. That's more what we're looking for, huh? Alright, so with a really light sand, if all of your pieces are the same length and they're all that 22.5 degree angle, it'll come out real nice where you don't have any gaps, nice and flush, looking real good, looking like a professional did, you know? So, now that you got that on there, you can go ahead and slap this in. So, there's a few different things you can do. I got some double-sided tape. We're gonna try that out, see how that works. Don't worry, somebody comes in and cleans up the set after we're done. Seems pretty good. Yeah, that seems all right. That'll work, Sally. All right, so I have a 4-inch repair coupling to make it a 1/4 inch bigger, but 4-inch PVC is fine. And then all we're gonna do is measure from this corner to the edge and this corner to the edge. Make sure it's all in the center. And then we'll probably just put a little drywall screw down through the side. All right, so I forgot I need to cut this. I'm gonna cut it 2 3/4 because from the top of this to the top of this is 3 1/4, and I want it to be sunk below a little bit. So 2 3/4 is what we're gonna cut that at. It's much easier if you have a full piece of PVC. I should have just used regular 4-inch PVC. The kids will learn. Fine. Alright, so we know that we want 4 5/8 off that. 4 5/8 off that. Just give it the old double check ski. All that came out good. I don't love the fastening method of using those screws. I think on the next one, I'll try something else. Maybe even trying this double-sided tape. It seems like it held up pretty well on the carpet. Either way, there she is. Go ahead and sand it down and make your other one. Bingo bango, you're ready for play. I'm gonna leave all the creative aspects up to you as far as finish and what kind of handles and things you put on this. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with these ones yet, so comment down below what you decide to do and maybe I'll try that. Thanks, bye.